This is part 3 of our series. Today we're going to get our plants from the tent and we're going to put them in the garden. But let's look at the timeline. In part 1, which was the first week in April, we planted our 4 seeds. 7 days later we did part 2. That's where we took the small seedlings and we transferred them into bigger pots and we put them in the tent. And that was exactly 4 weeks ago. So you can see 4 weeks growth. You know, they're about 1.5 feet tall, but very healthy. So these are going to start off in the garden really healthy. We have 4 of those. We also did a small road trip, which you can take a look at right now. So I decided to stop in and get a clone for this year. For those of you that don't really want to go with the seeds, you can simply stop a couple weeks into May, get a clone, stick it right in the ground. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So after we came back from that road trip with our clone, I put the clone in the tent. And that's how big it is now. So this clone, you can see, was $20. It's fairly tall. It's going to be a sativa. So what you have to be careful of is in the tent and any plants that you grow, they don't last very long in small pots. The root system will completely fill this pot and the plant will become what's known as root bound. And these plants will let you know, because their leaves are going to hang down, they're going to be just droopy, and you'll like, even this one, I have to water it every single day while it's in the tent. And these ones now, about every other day, I give them a good watering. So even these, small pots don't last that long with these plants because they're going to quickly outgrow them. And the same thing will happen if you grow outdoors in 5-gallon pails. If you're doing what they call an autoflower, which is a plant that will go from seedling to full grown in 9 weeks, a 5-gallon pail is okay. The plants aren't getting that big, and the 5-gallon pail can withstand that root system. But if you have non-autoflower, like these plants, regular sativa and regular indica, they will quickly outgrow a 5-gallon pail, and you're not going to have a healthy plant. You can water it all you want. The 5-gallon pail will be one complete root ball, solid. And it's not enough. Your plant will be hanging down and you'll be wondering what's happened to it. Well, what's happened to it is it's root bound. What I plant in is 50-gallon pots. It's like a cloth pot. You can get them on Amazon, $30. They're 3 feet in diameter. They hold a lot of soil, and a full-size sativa can withstand that pot, because I've had plants 15 feet high and still they weren't root bound. So we're going to be using those today. So we have some soil. We're going to get that prepared. We have some manure. I highly suggest, if you're going to plant outdoors, get yourself some manure. I have a local farm here that I get it from, so it's pretty good stuff. But your plants are going to need that. They're going to need some nutrients in the soil because we're not going to be fertilizing these. Normally I do, but that's where the stores come in and everybody's selling jungle juice and all this magical potion and it's going to make these plants really. For the normal person putting these out in their garden, I'm going to bypass all of that. I'm just going to use the nutrients that are in the soil and we're going to grow these plants. The other thing you want to make sure that you don't use is Miracle-Gro. Not the soil, but the actual fertilizer, because it's a slow release fertilizer. It's meant to, put on your plants and last for the whole summer, 3, 4, 5 months. It's not ideal for these plants. You're giving them nutrients, slow release all the time that they don't really need. So for us today, we're going to put these in the soil. We're going to add some manure. We're going to water them. And from there, we're just going to let nature take its course. So let's get outside and let's get to planting. Okay, so these are the 50-gallon pots that I used. They're like a cloth felt pot, and like I said, you can buy these on Amazon, and these are about 5 years old, so you can reuse them every year. But the secret is you want to add some nutrients. So in the spring, I simply turn the soil and you can see it's nice, fresh, loose soil, so the plants will grow easily in it. And from there, we're going to add in some manure. Just mix that in to your soil. You want to mix it in really well, because if not, you'll end up burning your seedlings, because the seedlings will be sitting in the manure. So you want to work it right down into your soil. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to top up the 4 pots that we're going to use, and then we'll get the plants going. Okay, so we're going to get the plant into the soil. You just want to squeeze the side of the pot a couple times, loosen up, make sure it's going to come out easy so you're not just pulling the thing out. So go ahead and dig a fairly decent hole right in the middle. Alright, take the pot, slide down. You can see the root system is already taking shape. Straight down in the hole. Soil put back over the top. That's it. This one's ready to go. So we're going to do that with the 4 others and take it from there. This one's the clone that we got for $20. We'll plant that one a little bit separate so you can see if it grows any different than the ones we planted from seed. You can already see the roots have really expanded in that small pot, so it wouldn't last very long if I kept it without transplanting it. And that's that. All the plants are officially in the ground. So today is May 13th, and in southern Ontario you're not supposed to plant before the May 24th weekend because there's still a chance of some cold air, maybe even frost. What I do this time of year is I really pay attention to the night temperatures. I look at the online temps, and I can see for the next week the lowest it's supposed to get is 8 degrees Celsius. So that's fine for these plants. But if you're going to plant this early, you have to have a backup plan. So if I see there's a chance of frost at all, I make sure that I have some pails. And when they're small like this, simple. I cover them up for the night. That way the warmth from the soil keeps the plant warm and the frost can't get down onto them. So that's a plan B. As the plants get bigger, let's say, the end of May, and all of a sudden we have some really cold temperatures and it's talking about frost. What I'll do then is I'll take a stick in the ground like this, and I'll get a green garbage bag, and I'll just lay the green garbage bag over the top. And that way, again, the warm soil will keep the plant alive, and the green garbage bag will keep the frost from killing it. So just make sure, if you're planting this early, that you do have a plan. So that ends part 3. From here, we just let Mother Nature take its course. In part 4, we'll take a closer look, make sure there's no bugs on them, any pruning. If they start to get, especially sativa, if they start to get way too tall, we'll start pruning the tops. That'll be in part 4.